lottery to determine the top 4 slots. More drama because who was quickest in qualifying in the dry yesterday can't even take on the grid. Well, a carnival atmosphere in the damp conditions at Silverstone, but we're about to get underway, and Adrian Slater has drawn that pole, and he gets a good start. Everybody else trying to get away. Malcolm Sargent doesn't get the GTS away quite as well as he might, and Chris Healy has the perennial problem with the 944 turbo. It won't get off the line as quick as the 911s, but look at the disastrous conditions they're having to race in at the moment. There is Paul Doran. On the inside of him is Dave Ellis in 49, and they make their way down to Maggots and ultimately into Beckett's. Piers Maserati picks up a position. He's running in Class 2, just looks across to see where everybody is, and where is he on the track? Well, and a bit of a moment there for Pete Chambers in 3rd place. Mike Salmon in the 8 car, tucked in back in 6th position. They swing their way through. Adrian Slater, look at the lead he's already got. That's the advantage of having a clear track in front of you. Pete Wilson, there is the 4 car of Chris Healy going through. Everybody's safely through. The blue flashing lights at the background, the fire tender, that's a safety requirement. And a bit squirrely there from Des Winks in the 2nd place car. Malcolm Sargent peeks out to the inside of Pete Wilson, but can't find a way through, and fighting it out all the way through the field. Different sunscreen strips top of each of the windscreens there dictate which class everybody runs in. Red is for Class 1, the more powerful cars. It's yellow for Class 2 and black for Class 3. Interestingly enough, the colours of the German flag. We've got a move there. Mark Sumter sneaks through on the inside of Robert Babican. And hold on for a ride of your life. The 63.924 of Andrew Sweetnam spinning off to the gravel trap. Well, he'll wait for them all to go through and rejoin. No waiting at all for Adrian Slater. He is really building a lead very healthily indeed. Des Winks there in 2nd. In 3rd place, it's Pete Chambers, who again is fighting with his 911 truck. And Des Winks has fought and lost with his off into the gravel trap at Beckett's. And, well, can he rejoin from there? He's spinning the wheels at the moment, trying to reverse it out, but, well, we'll keep an eye on that for you. Mark Sumter then in Herritt's 3rd place. Winks does restart, but he's got a lot of work to do if he's going to gain some places. This the battle for 2nd place. And Mark Sumter slides through with the 996. Pete Chambers has no response. I thought for a moment there Chambers might just fight back, and in fact Chambers does move to the outside. I think as much to see where he's going as anything, but they'll come underneath bridge. It's not for the faint-hearted through here. But Mark Sumter and indeed Pete Chambers making a good fist of it. And here we are with Chris Healy behind. Oh, crikey, through the windscreen. I think that's a stone. It's just shot through the windscreen, flicked up by Malcolm Sargent in the GTS ahead of Chris Healy. Well, that must have given Chris Healy a bit of a heart-stopping moment. Here, though, we're back up the front with the 2nd place man. Adrian Slater is driving off into the countryside. Here is Healy. That's Malcolm Sargent up ahead of him in the 928. And look how damaged that front windscreen is. And there is Healy. He's in the white car. Oh, Mike Salmon tries to get to the inside of him. Paul Fuller trying to get to the inside of Mike Salmon. So a bit of a Healy blockage there. Nobody making their way through, and Healy holding on, more importantly for him, to his position. That's Paul Fuller in the 7 car. Mike Salmon is ahead of him in 8. Now Salmon, is he going into the pit lane? No, I think just a moment there he flicked on the right-hand indicator, but that's gone off now as they complete another lap. And a spinning Tony Littlejohn. Very tidily done, you have to say. And not surprising, the spectators taking refuge right at the back of the stands here at Silverstone today. Here's our race leader, though, Adrian Slater, starting from pole. He's never won a Porsche race, would you believe? Well, he might just be on his way there this time, but look how Mark Sumter is reeling him in as Sumter passes one of the 924s in Class 3, and Sumter is definitely closing on Adrian Slater. Slater will be desperate to see the checkered flag, but he's got a little while to go yet. Further back, Pete Wilson and a recovering Des Winks. You'll remember Winks had a spin at Beckett's earlier on. Well, Des Winks is trying to climb himself back up the field. Pete Wilson will be his next target. Here's 2 of the Class 2 runners, Marcus Fothergill and Dave Bennett, with Tom Segru there in the 9 car tucked in behind them. Battles going on throughout all of the field. It's getting very misted up as well inside some of those cars. Well, there's a great example of it. Marcus Fothergill, he's got a spinning car in front of him. That's Paul Doran. Paul Doran then spins, he moves to the right. Marcus takes to the grass to avoid him. A bit of a clip there, I think, as he went past. And he's losing places in his class at the moment because 2 of them have just gone flying through, and there's the 3rd. Back on the track, though. Now he's got to think about how he's going to recover his position. The outside in that way, he doesn't need to worry too much. That's Adrian Greaves leading Class 3. The expect that he can recover that place without too many dramas. Yeah, a wave to Adrian, who let him go. And we're now back up with Chris Healy, who had that stone come through his windscreen, and he's right, well, in fact, he's almost pushing Malcolm Sargent round Luffield there. Got to the inside of him, he'll surely claim that place. And Mike Salmon also trying to get through ahead of Malcolm Sargent. He's lining himself up, but it's all a bit tippy-toed with Woodcut there. There's not much grip at all. Salmon has got the better of the grip, though, on the inside, and he'll go through. Also get ahead of Malcolm Sargent, so following in the wheel tracks as best as he can of Chris Healy. Now, we've seen this before many times in the Pirelli Porsche Cup. The 944 turbos don't get off the line very well, but once they're away and running, as indeed is our race leader there, Adrian Slater passes one of the back markers. Once the 944 turbo's up and running, it goes extraordinarily well, and here's a challenge for the lead. Slater on the inside, Mark Sumter in the Paragon Porsche to the outside. Oh, and Slater has to protect his position for all he's worth. He will be so desperate to see that checkered flag. Amazing to see those cars run side by side. They make the journey down towards Bridge Corner. Here they come into our sight again, and Slater has to take the inside line. Sumter, oh, a little bit squirrely there under braking. Well, it's a real dab on the brakes through there. And we're on board with Piers Maserati running in Class 2. Leading Class 2, in fact. And you can just hear all of the debris being thrown up underneath the car. Here he comes towards us. He's got Dave Ellis behind him in the 968, trying to close in on him. And it's a real desperate struggle, in fact, in Class B, because Russell Boost is also there in the 911 3.2 Carrera. And here is Chris Healy under attack from Mike Salmon now. Also lining up for a shot at Healy is Malcolm Sargent, but I think Healy will protect the line through Luffield. It seems to go on forever. Oh, will he? No, he'll protect the line. Oh, poor old Mike Salmon. He's worked so hard to gather a few places. Just missed the Honko there as well, taking out that left corner. But he'll rejoin, I'm sure, once he can get some traction. Back looking towards what are the grandstands for Beckett's at the British Grand Prix, and through comes Adrian Greaves on his way, it looks like, to yet another Class 3 victory that surely will secure his position at the top of the championship standings. The Class 2 car of Marcus Fothergill, oh, in a bit of a tangle with Tom Segru. Marcus, oh, he's not very happy with that, is he? One more time, he said, I think, to the inside of Tom Segru. Segru's not giving way, is he? I'm sure they'll talk about it over a glass of water later. Adrian Slater then on his way towards the checkered flag. Mark Sumter trying everything he can. Slater, though, has been supreme in these last couple of laps. He's had Sumter swinging back left and right behind him. Got to really watch himself through Brooklyn as they come. And up into Luffield, the final part of the circuit. And the checkered flag already in hand. Will Sumter make a dive for it through Woodcote? It's a famous overtaking place over all the years. 50 years, of course, of Silverstone this year, but Slater will take his first ever victory in the Pirelli Porsche Cup. Well, I expect almost to see more animation from Adrian Slater. What's happening behind? The answer is that they're tumbling and squabbling over the lower leading positions. Chris Healy there in the 944 Turbo. Malcolm Sargent, I don't think he'll find a way through there. Healy's far too wily a campaigner. Or Healy has run wide, and Sargent will get him at the line. Well done, Malcolm Sargent. Well, I don't know what Chris is getting upset about. He didn't really concentrate, I don't think, at the last corner. There's confirmation, though, of the result of round 9. Adrian Slater takes his first ever victory in the Porsches.